What's up, gamers? Welcome to a new episode of Last Cloudia. Today we're actually representing the Slime Collaboration event. And we got a lot of arcs and a lot of characters to talk about. So this is going to be probably a longer episode than normal, which is perfectly okay. The first thing I wanted to do, since we're in the cleanup phase, is just to show you guys I did actually pull Roland. I think I took 3 multi-pulls to get him on the previous banner. And on top of that, I also pulled, if we go to arcs, the ultra rare Il Dravagna. I feel like a vampire when I say that, but I actually was able to pull this on the 4th multi-pull, if I'm not mistaken. So thankfully the devs decided to be nice and give me the goods. One other thing I need to do as far as cleanup is concerned is I failed to talk about a specific arc that I ended up pulling after I made the last video because I was so focused on the Ultra arc, but I didn't talk about the SSR. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about it real quick. This is Band of the Dunes. So this is the arc that came from the previous banner as well. It actually had its own banner. I just forgot to even bring this up. But basically, the arc attribute, I don't have it at level 10 yet, so I'm not going to worry about too much about what the level 10 is. But the main thing I'd like to really talk about are the skills you can learn from it, because this is actually one of the more important things to learn. This is actually a good thing to have. So you have your pose of honor, which is fine, but MP up 4 is a pretty big deal. MP up 4 is really good. I think this is the first time you can get this in an arc. Everyone that you use that can cast magic is gonna want this. So 100% you want this arc specifically for that. It also comes with Spirit Shield. You also have Fate Resist, which is decent. You got Earth Shield, which is interesting. And you have Auto Metis, which is actually okay too, especially for healers, because I believe when you increase your mind, it helps you when you're healing as well. So it's pretty good. But like I said, MP 4 is the big thing that you're going to want from this arc. And also, let's talk about the item that you actually get from this. So if I was to go to the Aether reward, you get Band's Music Box. Now, this is an accessory that gives you plus 20 intelligence, 30 MP, and then 45 on defense and mind, so decent stats overall. Battle start, recover 3 to 10 MP. So this is probably going to be per wave, I would assume. So decent. I don't know if I would really go out of my way to be like, yes, this is awesome. Like, I don't think I would spend my, my ethers on this or my Ethereans, but, not a bad thing to have. So I wanted to kind of go over this briefly because I actually do like the arc here. And I also, like I said, the MPF 4 was the thing that really drew me to this one. So just kind of wanted to bring that up since I failed to talk about it on the last episode. Now, as far as the slime collab, excuse me, apparently I can't talk today. I have to say that right now it's a little bit slow. There's nothing really special about the event that I can see quite yet. I think when they do phase 2 is when the collab is going to really open up and there's going to be a lot more things to do, because typically in your normal everyday collaboration, you usually have a lot going on and usually some different unique stuff. I haven't really felt that with this collab yet. I don't want to say anything bad yet. I want to wait for the second half to drop just to say, okay, cool, this is a hype collab. But right now, it's just okay. It feels like just a regular event with new characters, but like I said, we're only on the first half, so we'll see what happens. Also, remember that we do have God Mode on a few more levels if you want to get some more, items and, like gems and whatnot. You can do that. And don't forget about the challenges for the slime collaboration and the splash tacular. There you go. I couldn't say that for a second. So basically just do those little rewards. You get stuff for it. It's pretty cool. And we're going to do a bunch of multi-pulls. We're actually going to do, I think I got a free multi-pull from something I did on one of these things. I also am going to do a multi-pull on both of the gotcha banners that got released. So let's go ahead and just take a look at what we're going to be pulling from before we pull. Alright, so going to the gotcha banners. We're going to go ahead and move over, and we're not going to do step up right now. Which, by the way, if you're the type of person that would be considered a whale, If you want to get these characters guaranteed, I mean, this is definitely the easy way to do it. If you want to just pay it out for it, it is a lot to do it, but you know, if it's worth it to you, go ahead. But let's go ahead and talk about the new character, Ribaru. So let's go ahead and take a look at the stats, the abilities, and see if this character is really good. Now, looking at the stats here, 1157 intelligence is really good. 1065 mind, really, really good. And decent HP and MP. So far, stats I would say, yeah, they're decent. Also, it has, looks like elemental resistance for everything except holy and dark. So interesting as well. When you look at the abilities, kind of a mixture. This almost reminds me of Popoi so far, because kind of like the Jack of all trades when it comes to spells here, the S1 is a Thunder combo attack, the S2 is a Fire combo attack, the S3 is a Dark attack, and then of course the special is an Ice related attack. Also, it reduces the unit's HP, MP, and SCT, so really, really interesting. With that ability. The traits here, you have total analysis. Now this is a confusing one. It says the conditions are met in battle. Boost attribute resistance. Basic status ailments. Magical attack. Damage cap. And damage resistance. Cap applies. Now I don't know what the conditions are needed to be met, so I'm not going to pretend I know exactly what this is talking about. I have no idea. But if we meet whatever conditions need to be met, all that's going to happen. So I don't know if this ability is great or not. I mean, looking at all that it does, it seems pretty cool, but we'll see. Great Sage, magical attack damage plus 25%, casting speed plus 10%. During full auto battle, strength, defense, intelligence, and mind plus 10%. I kind of like that. It kind of encourages people to play. It's kind of like the grind character that you're going to be putting in if you're trying to get like crystals and stuff. And you're going to get, automatic boost if you just let it play on auto. I think that's pretty cool. I actually play mostly on auto anyway because I like to test my characters to see if they're naturally good enough. So I like that. I like that in this character. That's actually, I like the trait personally, but that's just a personal thing. All right, now looking at the skill list, you have Full Potion, which is a new one. Very greatly restores an ally's HP. Very greatly. I don't think I've ever seen that in a sentence before. Anyway, you also have Ice Javelin. You have Icicle Shot, which is a new one. I think this is going to be the top tier ice spell. Powerful ice attack to enemies in a medium area. He's got Tornado Storm. He's got Valzerizer. He has Shining Zoc. And of course the Magic Circle. So real variety when it comes to spells here. Again, jack of all trades when it comes to magic, it seems. More for offensive, just damage dealing. Comes with MP4, which is good. Magic up 2, Magic up max. Auto R, that's fantastic right there. You don't need fast R or anything like that. Let Auto R do it for you. They have a new one here, Ultra Speed Regeneration. Continuous regeneration effect, not stackable with other HP regen effects. So at least it tells you it's not stackable. So I'm just going to make the statement that unless the game specifically says it in parentheses, everything should stack. But in this case, this will not stack with other regen effects. So I'm glad they made it clear. Awaken, really, really good thing to have. This is an ability I actually underestimated. So I'm going to go ahead and make the statement right now that Awaken is a fantastic ability, specifically for Tower and Arena. I don't know if you saw when I was first talking, I'm actually at, I think, Silver 5 right now, because once I gave my characters Awaken, it literally changed everything. It's really, really good ability. So if you want to climb the arena or just do better in Tower, definitely slap Awaken on your characters. It makes a big difference. Anyway, moving along, we got Moonlight, you got Pose of Honor, Immovable Object, really, really good for a spellcaster, high-level magic chant, obviously a standard here, Quick Trigger, which is decent, Decoy, which is alright, Magic R, absolutely great to have, it's going to save you a lot of SC when you're building, Rapid Recovery, they got Magic Sense, well, this is a new one, MP slightly recovers sometimes. So, the fact that you're going to be getting MP potentially is a good thing, but it seems really random, so hard to really comment on it. But anytime you can potentially get MP for free is always a good thing. And then you have my true power. All attribute attacks power plus 15%. Ah, okay. That's pretty cool. That's actually really, really cool. So, obviously, this is going to be a big time damage dealer. So, I'm liking that. It's not bad at all. So, is this the kind of character that's going to be like top tier or anything? I would say mid tier at the very least. I don't know for sure if we're going to want to run it like in a arena or anything. I think it'll be good basically in tower, just because you'll have elements for almost anything, and there are certain floors in the tower where you have to use a specific type of magic or you're not going to do much damage. So it'll be good for tower in some scenarios. Good for just your regular grind. So yeah, I think overall this is a good character. You know, I'm not going to say it's top tier though. This is one of those characters where if you get it, you're like, yes. I think it's an okay character. And if you happen to watch the anime, you know, that'll be something for you too. Some nostalgia. I haven't watched the anime yet, so I don't know anything about it. I've actually finished watching Nocturne, which is great. I may have to go look this up on Crunchyroll to see how good it is. But the character, it's decent, I'll say. But nothing I'm super hype on. Let's take a look at the actual arc. You've got the Storm Dragon of Eldora. That's right. So this arc, when it's at level 10, on your battle start, you inflict Blazer Magic on all enemies. Boost magic name given buffs plus 15%. All attribute attack power plus 10%. So basically, you're going to be dealing a ton of damage, is what it looks like to me. The actual ability that you learn here, which is the important part, you get Breaker, which is decent. Attack up 4, really good to have. Chance Drive is okay. Name Giving, this is a new one. So with Name Giving, it says consume half the unit's hit points and give an ally plus 10 on strength, defense, intelligence, and mind. No buffs on this unit. So I don't know if that means you can't buff that unit or if the unit just can't have buffs in order to use it. I'm not 100% sure what the parentheses there means. I'm just assuming you just can't get the buff on this unit is what it seems like. But anyway, it's interesting. You have Life Brave. The lower your remaining HP, the higher your strength will be. Max plus 50%. That ability is fantastic for just about everything. Tower, arena, those are the main two that you're going to be wanting this on. I mean, that is a fantastic ability. So I definitely want this arc specifically for Life Brave. That is a really good thing to have for just about all your characters. Well, specifically with your physical DPS characters. I like it a lot. So I'm going to give it to just about everyone on the physical DPS side. Tempest Dragon's Blessings. This is also a new one. Add Dragon type, which means your strength goes up by 10%. Your physical damage taken is minus 15%. An okay ability. I don't typically ever do the Mimicry stuff. I know that there's some really cool combos if you know what you're doing. I just don't really mess with all that. So I'm pretty sure that if you combo this with certain characters, this could be devastating. Like I said, it's kind of a personal specific type build for an ability like that. But again, Life Brave, this is really the skill you want. That's just too good. So yeah, absolutely want that. Now the Aether award that you get for this is Khajiit's Longsword. Not to be confused with a Khajiit. That's a cat. Anyway, strength plus 115, and then the actual trait is strength plus 15%. So basically this is a non-elemental sword that just deals a ton of damage. That's pretty much it. I mean, no special craziness, just dealing a lot of damage. So this is something that you would want to also give to like Randy, you know what I mean? And maybe what's the other guy's name? I forgot already. There's another guy too. That would be Balin. Not bad. So you know, really really good weapon. I'd say decent. You know, I wouldn't really use up a bunch of Ethereum on it to get this, but it would be good overall. So this definitely is going to be, in my opinion, a top tier arc. And again, that's just my opinion, mainly because of Life Brave. I think that's just a fantastic skill to run. It's going to do a lot of things for you. Now, if you're just grinding, you don't really need to equip it when grinding. This is specifically for like difficulty levels of tower and of course arena as well. So that's going to be that particular part of it. Now, we're not going to pull any gotchas yet. We still got more stuff to talk about. Yes, you're going to continue to hear my voice because we got more characters, more arcs. Now, we've already talked about Sea Princess Lila. I believe in the video that we discussed this, we talked about her legs apparently, because that's how she was advertised when the devs were posting it. They just showed a picture of her legs. They were like, okay. So, but anyway, so we're not going to talk about Lila. We are going to talk about the Tinkeely. What used to be a diva is now Nocturne. So this should be interesting. I'm actually surprised that they've actually made an alternate version of her already. Typically, they give a lot more time before they come up with a different version of a character, so this was definitely a lot sooner than I expected. But hey, it's fine, nothing wrong with that. So let's take a look at her and see how cool she is. Now, looking at her stats, and not looking at the picture, looking at her stats, she is definitely going to be good on the spell damage. 1207 in intelligence, that's a lot. 948 mine is pretty good too. Everything else seems pretty average. I mean, good on the MP and HP, so that's a good start. She also has resistance to almost every attribute except holy, so that's actually really interesting. Obviously, what that means is she's going to be dealing a lot of dark damage, which that's kind of what the focus here is. She's going to be weak against holy. So if you look at all of her skills here, her skills have a lot of dark related damage, so that's pretty cool. Now, she's a saboteur. I'm going to tell you that right now, from what I can already see by reading this. The second skill here, the frontal long range dark combo attack, lowered enemies' movement speed. That's going to be interesting because, you know, there are characters like Kohaku who are just destroying everything with their speed. So this is going to be, I don't know if it's going to be the anti-Kohaku. I'm not going to go that far and make that statement, but it could slow things down. Like if this was like a boss in tower with you know, beefed up stats, your Kohaku would be in a little bit of trouble. Also, the S3 here, you got the long range dark combo attack, chance to lower an enemy's dark resistance. So that's going to be doing some stuff too. And then her special, the powerful dark combo attack against all enemies, lower physical attack damage from those enemies. So yeah, again, she's a saboteur, so that's going to be the thing. So, which makes sense because her original form is all about buffing and being a synergist. So the fact that she's a saboteur here, it just makes sense, right? And she's actually got a lot of offensive damage stuff going on where the other one really didn't. So the traits here, you got the Temptress style, which is definitely unique. Dark attack damage plus 20%. Damage to melee units plus 50%. She is not messing with them boys, I guess. Whatever. And then you got Fascinating Gaze. Physical damage from enemies minus 20%. Magic, skill, and special debuff effects last 20% longer. Again, she's a saboteur, and it makes perfect sense. So whenever she debuffs you, you're going to be like that for a while. So, yeah, really interesting, and obviously what I expected. So let's take a look at the actual skills. So obviously, being that she's going to be doing, you know, dark magic, you got dark matter, you got abyssal gate, and then here's some saboteur skills: high blazer, giga blazer, high drain, giga drain, high listoma, high nemesis, and you have a new one here: temptation. Excuse me, I still can't talk today. Single target strength or intelligence minus 50%, usable just once in quests. Okay, so. Yeah, definitely unique. That could hurt a specific. I mean, you want to cast this on a boss. You know, that's kind of the idea here. So it can be useful, especially like in tower and stuff like that. Weak, she has also magic circles. Now, looking at the passives, you got magic up 4, really good. Fast vacation, interesting. Dark boost, dark high boost makes perfect sense. Dark critical, dark attack raise, dark critical raise. So yeah. When it comes to dark magic damage, man, she is really getting in there. She's also got Goddess Kiss, which is really good. High level magic chant, which is obviously standard here. Staff high boost, pretty good. Skill charge too. I mean, skill charge abilities are always good in general, so you know, nothing wrong with that. Lovely step. This is a new one. Battle start. All enemy strength, defense, intelligence, or mine minus 35%. Now keep in mind. It's all enemies, but it's only one of those Now, could you imagine if it was all four of those minus 35% to all enemies? That would be dumb. But yeah, it's for all enemies, or for only one of those four gets a 35%. So it's either strength, defense, intelligence, or mind. Still pretty good though. Still pretty good. Heartbeat step. When enemies' strength, defense, intelligence, or mind is lowered, boost unit stats by the same amount. So if I'm reading this correctly, so we're looking at lovely step, which everyone's going to get a decrease in something, which means that when lovely step goes off, heartbeat step I assume would then trigger, meaning that whatever got lowered is going to increase on her. So could you imagine like lowering everyone's intelligence and she getting all of that intelligence? That's potentially broken right there. If it does what I think it does. And let's just pretend that Lovely Step doesn't work with Heartbeats down. Let's just pretend that you actually have to cast a spell to lower something. Well, that's still pretty good because you're going to be lowering someone's intelligence. So you're going to make their spellcaster weaker while making your spellcaster stronger. That's pretty awesome. I'm assuming that this particular unit is going to get a boost depending on how much she lowers. That's actually really strong. I'm not going to lie. I didn't really notice this. I didn't think about this till now, but this could be potentially devastating. Wow, I like this a lot. Actually, that's a good ability. So yeah, I'm gonna say that this particular character is gonna be, I'll say mid tier for sure, potentially top tier. Like I said, that last passive seems ridiculously good. But again, I don't know how everything works. I could be completely wrong about how it's supposed to work. But from what I could tell, that looks really good. So, I mean, I'm not going to complain if I get her. But, now, is she better than her alternate form? Like her original, the Diva form? That's debatable because, I mean, being able to do a lot of boosts and stuff like that is pretty good too. Really good for things like tower and whatnot. So I think that they're both probably equally as good. I think it's going to be a matter of your own preference, is what I'm going to say. So I'll say mid tier, but I actually think this is pretty good personally. And then let's talk about the actual arc that's also coming with this. You got the Galleon Falls. All right. So the arc attributes, you have physical damage taken minus 20%, continuous high regeneration effect, max hit points boosted based on number of ice skill units in party. Now remember it says ice skill units, so that would work with like Celios, Sea Princess, stuff like that. So that's pretty cool if you're really going for the whole ice team, I guess. Um, and 10% for every unit up to 40%. So there you go. Pretty cool. And then when you look at the actual things you can learn, you got Spirit Breath, which is actually really good. You recover your SCT when HP regenerates. This is actually the one skill I don't have. I think there's an arc out there where you might be able to get this from. I don't have that arc. So, yeah, that's actually pretty good. Cure Stun is decent. You got Fast Vitality, which I also think is pretty good. You would give that to Diva for sure. Um, that's basically Battlestar automatically activate Vitality. That's actually really good. Illness Nil, decent. God Heal, arguably the best healing spell in the game. And Healing High Boost, which is, I'll say, is decent. Honestly, the only reason that I like this particular arc is for Spirit Breath and Fast Vitality. Like, those are the main two you're really going to use this arc for. You can get God Heal from other arcs, but if you don't have the other arc, but you get this one, that's good too. The Healing High Boost, it's nice but not necessary, I would say. But it's not bad. But yeah, I would still say this is a decent arc specifically because of Spirit Breath and Fast Vitality, which are things you can learn relatively quickly and have a low SC. So that's actually pretty good. So I'll say this is definitely worth having, at the very least mid tier. I like it. It's actually really good. Let's take a look at the actual 8th reward. You got Aqua Mirage Attire. This is a robe that gives you 104 strength, 50 MP, 75 defense, 181 mind. So lots of good stats there. Fire damage minus 10%, additional minus 15% for fire magic. So there you go. Now keep in mind that you got a flat 10% on fire damage, like skill damage, whatever, doesn't matter. And if it's a fire spell that's being used, that's an additional 15% on top of that 10%. That's less that you're going to be taking. So pretty interesting. Not bad at all. It also gives you a few resistances as well, so that's good to see too. So overall, this is actually a pretty good robe. I think that this item is actually better than the arc either for the other item we talked, or other arc that we talked about. So this is actually pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's really good. All right, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to do some gotcha pulls. So let's start with. We're just gonna do the multi pulls here. Let's take a look here. There's one specific I want to do first. Here we go. I want to do the 10 times pull here. They did do a quality of life update where now all your little single tickets, you can actually open them all at once. Finally, thankfully. I hated having to like tap one at a time, do the whole animation just to get nothing that I want, go back, do the whole thing all over again. It's kind of annoying. So the fact that they actually did that quality of life change is fantastic. So thanks, Devs, for thinking about your players. Alright, so we start off with yellow, so is that going to mean anything? Nope, not at all. I probably already have all of this, so no big deal. Again, I don't think that the multi-pulls for this particular section is going to be anything amazing. Now, I'm also going to do a multi-pull on both of the banners that we've discussed here. So let's go ahead and move to the... And this is just your standard banner. We're not going to do that. But we'll do the swimsuit banner first. I actually want to get both of these characters. I never did get see Princess Lila, and I would like to get her. But I also like Tinkili, just because I think that her ultimate is actually a lot better than I gave it credit for. Her original was actually pretty good too. So let's spend some change here, see if we can't get one of these characters or the arcs. I definitely want that the arc for sure. The arc was really, really good. For me, at least. Alright, so it starts off yellow. That's a good sign. So we're hoping for it to turn red. So let's make it happen, Captain. And slash! Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, there it is. Ah, yes. Miss Tinkili. M'lady. It is time to test you out. Yes. So yeah, absolutely good to have here. Really happy to see that. So awesome. I'll take it. And we got one more multi-pull to do because we got another banner to pull on. So let's go ahead and go to the other banner. See if we can pull anything. Now, oddly enough, the other banner, I'm not really like hyped to really get the arc or the character. I mean, I want the arc just because there are some abilities I'd like to probably take advantage of, but believe it or not, I'm not really impressed with what I've seen for the collaboration, which is really weird. I mean, they're not bad. It's not a bad arc. It's not a bad character. It's more just not my preference. But let's see what we get anyway. Don't want to be negative here. And slash time. And we got nothing. I tapped too fast, so I skipped everything. But yeah, didn't get any red there. But hey, I got Tinkili, so that's pretty cool. So now I got her regular and her alternate form. I do believe the swimsuit version of her is a limited thing, just like Sea Princess Lila. So there you go. Now, personally, as far as which banner I'm going to be pulling on the most, is definitely going to be the swimsuit banner. I want to get the arc, the SSR one. I also want to get the Sea Princess as well. And then if I'm able to pull and get what I want out of that, then I might go into these. I will be doing all the step-ups off screen. So hopefully, I get something that I want out of those as well. Now, when I do the step-ups, I don't do the whole, like, all 4 different chains to get the character. I just do, like, the first round of it. So I'm only going to be paying, like, 700 gems, paid gems to get all this. And I'm done with that banner. And I'll do the same thing with the other banner, too. Because more than likely, I'll pull something off of the step-ups. I typically do anyway. And I think that it's a good deal when you're doing the first round. Now, all the other rounds, you're just paying 3K paid, and it's just a lot. I don't, I mean, unless you're whaling it out, I wouldn't do it. Like, I'm not a whale, I'm more of a dolphin, so I'll put it to you that way. But yeah, that's pretty much it here. So, like I said, hopefully the collab gets better, and then hopefully, we get more stuff here. And hopefully, I haven't forgotten anything this time. I've talked about all the characters. I've talked about the arcs, and we've already talked about Sea Princess Lila and Fast in the SR arc in the past. So, we're good on that. So I think that's going to be it. I do want to thank everybody for watching the video. It definitely, means a lot to know that people actually care about the content. So appreciate you guys watching. We'll be back once another character arc comes out. But until next time, you guys keep gaming. Take care, y'all. Later.